judo is the most unforgiving of all the grappling sports. You can, if you have a lapse of concentration for half a second, it's done. It's over. If those guys get a grip on each other, any one of them can throw the other. The idea, when you see someone like Nomura, who won 3 Olympic gold medals, to win across 3 Olympics, and that's an incredible achievement, given how many ways there are to lose in the standing position in judo and how unforgiving it is as a sport. It shows an incredible level of dominance.
And I think when I was also introduced at that time to the idea, just like in judo, I think in jiu-jitsu is the same. A lot of sports is probably the same. Is there's ways to win that include kind of, if I were to use a bad term, stalling, which is like use strategy to slow down, to destroy all the weapons your opponent has, and just to wait it out, to sort of break your opponent by, shutting down all their weapons, but not using any of your own.
Yes.
And now Travis was always going for, he's of course really good at gripping and can do that whole game, but he was going for the big throws. And he was almost getting frustrated by a lot of the opponents. I remember Ola Bischoff, I think.
Yes. From Germany.
From Germany.
Very talented.
Very incredible. I know he's very good at doing big throws and he's incredible judoka, but he was also incredible at just frustrating his opponents with like gripping and strategy and so on. And I just remember feeling the pain of this person like Travis, who went through he broke like every part of his body. He went through so many injuries. Just this person who dedicated his entire life to this moment in 2008 and then 2012 and 2016, just gave everything. You could see it on his face that, his weapons are being shut down and he's still pushing forward. He's still with that, both the frustration and the power. I mean, the kind of throw he does is his main one, I think, is the standing. It's called Seoi.
Ippon
Seoi. But that was the other thing, is like the techniques he used was these big throws that there's something to me about the Seoi. I fell in love with that throw. That's become my main throw, standing Seoi. That is like,
why do you favor the standing variation? Because of the amplitude? You get a more powerful wind-up.
Power. It's like,
are you a fan of Koga?
Yes. That's when Koga and Travis opened up my
Travis uses the same gripping patterns for Seoi as Koga does.
All the same, and the way he uses his hips and turns. And I remember like going to my judo club and other judo clubs and and they were all saying this is the wrong way to do it. The way Travis does it is the wrong way to do it. And I remember like,
I've always been amazed by this, by the way. I don't mean to cut you off, but I could literally fill 20 hours of reproductions of people who will tell me that either my students or other great world champions are doing things wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at them and I'm like, who would I rather trust here in their judgment? Koga, who was one of the greatest throwers of all time, or you, a recreational guy who couldn't throw my grandmother?
Yes.
I'm supposed to take your word over his.
Well,
say, don't listen to what people say. I'm going to give you a piece of advice here. Watch what the best people do. Okay, that's how you get superior athletic performance. I'm going to say that again. Don't listen to what people say. Watch what they do. particularly under the stress of high-level competition, because that's when you see their real game, what they really do under pressure. Okay, and if you can emulate that, you're going to be very successful.
I guess what I was frustrated with, to your point, is that the argument against Koga is he has a very specific body type, and he figured out something that worked for him. The statement is that might not be applicable to you or to the general public of judo players that want to succeed. That, by the way, at the shallow level, might be true. Might be true. The point is, there might be a body of knowledge that's yet to be discovered and explored that Koga opened up. That I wanted to understand why his technique worked. It made no sense to me that with a single foot, like the way you turn the hip, the single foot that steps in, why does that work? Because it was actually very difficult to make work for me as a white belt in the very beginning. It doesn't make sense. Like people just they don't get loaded up onto your hip. Anyway, for people who don't watch Koga highlights, watch Travis Stevens highlights, but the details of the technique don't make sense. But when mastered, it feels like there's something fundamental there that hasn't been explored yet. It's like Koga and Travis made me think that we don't know most of the body mechanics involved in dominance in judo. Like we just kind of found a few pockets that work really well. The Uchimata, there's these different throws, Osotogari. I wonder if there's like totally cool new things that we haven't discovered. And that Seoi gave a little peek because there's very few people that I'm aware of that do it the way Travis and Koga did.
May I ask you a question?
Yes.
The choice of standing Seoi, I should say this for your listeners. They're probably thinking, what the hell are these two guys talking about? Seoi is one of the more high percentage throws in the Olympic sport of judo. Probably Uchimata is probably number one, and variations of Seoi would be in the top 5 for sure. The basic choice you have in modern competition is the more difficult standing Seoi, where you literally are up on your feet and you perform a shoulder throw that takes your opponent over from a full standing position. The most popular form of Seoi in modern competition by a landslide is not the standing version. It's a drop Seoi where you go down to your knees. This means you have a much easier time getting underneath your opponent's center of gravity. The defining feature of any Seoi is getting underneath your opponent's center of gravity and lifting them. The Seoi literally means to lift and carry.